Has a lot of mana. Has a sack out. Oh, God. Well, there's an Archangel Avacyn. Empty all the protection. We got a little bit of a stack going here.
Today on Commander Replay, we check out Jodah the Unifier and find out if we can actually keep our commander in play. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's two great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Jodah the Unifier today. Take a look at this opener. Oh, one land. Yeah, mulligan that. Into no lands, but all the ramp. Man, just a little bit of land, and that hand would look awesome. Looks like we're going to 6. There's some card draw in this 6, though. Oh, I really want this Galta. Keep this one. Agadeem is a land, and that's recursion. I should keep the Agadeem's Awakening, but I really just want to whack people with Galta. So we're going to put the Agadeem's Awakening to the bottom, and I think Galta will be funny in this deck. Let's play this Wooded Foothills, crack this Wooded Foothills, hopefully get a good shuffle into our deck. We need Abzan, we need more green-white. Yeah, a lot of green-white in hand. Okay. I guess we get a Temple Garden then. Soul Ring for D-Manny. Yep, that'll get him going. There's an island. Third land is good. Let's get the Plateau first, since the colors are a little bit more relevant. Nothing to do, so we'll just pass like that. Let's take a read of our commander. It is Jodah the Unifier, Wooburg for a 5/5. Legendary creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. It pumps itself, which is interesting. And whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, essentially cascade into another non-land legendary card with lesser mana. Pretty good. I saw this a couple times over the weekend. Someone was playing one in paper, and I believe they were eliminated first from both games out of necessity because the deck just kind of does a lot. A lot of free value there. If your commander's in play, you're getting free cascade triggers, and your stuff is probably huge. So, yeah, this is a fairly problematic commander. And when we were doing the pregame discussion, I was like, it's not exactly a high-power deck, but it does way too much for mid-power. So I think I labeled it as a mid-power deck that does way too much for free to really be a mid-power deck. That's kind of where we're at. And I'm sure there's some combos you could build around in here. I have not done that today. We're just going to try to whack people with Galta and things like that. Anyway, we draw another land. Lands are good. Let's play this island. And then let's get the Selvala in, because that can get us out of our mulligan. It's also some extra mana. All good stuff. Ooh, those are pretty lands. Look at those. Man, I want to get some of those. That was a War and Power Stone for opponent. They did get a Dawnbreak Cleric last turn and gained themselves some life. I would guess they're probably doing an Archangel Avacyn Blink ETB thing. That's what the deck tends to lend itself to, other than just building it as a Voltron deck. Redain? Oh no. Snowlands enter tapped. Okay, we don't have too many of those. Non-creature spells 4 or greater cost 2 more. Okay, we have a lot of creatures in the deck, so hopefully not too bad for us. Oh, there's some value. Opponent play their Imperial Recruiter last turn, finding a Dockside Extortionist. Luckily, I'm playing a very artifact-light kind of deck, so maybe the Dockside Extortionist won't beat us. It probably will. Oh, well, I guess they're going to play it now, but I'm sure it'll be back. Gets himself 2 treasures, has a Skulk Lamp. Yeah, he's generating value over there. This is Boros Charm, helpful. Let's activate the Selvala. We draw a land. We get 1 green mana. We reveal a land, Neverflowing Chalice, and a Generous Gift. Ew. We could probably cast our commander, except it probably just gets Generous Gifted if we do. So maybe we want to try to get to 7 mana to hold up the Boros Charm first. That being the case, play the Scalding Tarn. Crack the Scalding Tarn. It's something with some black in it for the Kethis. Let's get an Underground Sea. Unfortunately, we can't get the Honor-Worn Shaku and Kethis all in the same shot. So I think I'll just go with the Kethis. I know we don't have like a... we need colored mana. Yeah, I guess we just get Kethis. Could potentially rip something cool off the top. Help us cast that. Pass like that. Probably still 2 turns away from our commander. Arcane Signet. Opponent sitting on 5 mana, which means they'll probably flash in Archangel Avacyn, either if removal happens or just at an end step. And that is Delta Fiend piloting Archangel Avacyn, one that we played on the channel a few times. I've definitely done the ETB thing. I may have played an old version, I can't remember, a long time ago, where I tried to build around the 3 damage a little bit more. I don't know if I filmed that deck. I know I definitely built it and played it a few times. Not sure if it made it to video. Can't remember. Coming up on 1,000 videos. It's getting pretty hard to remember a good chunk of them. Opponent equips the sword to Redain. Yeah, Redain carries equipment really well. Really, really well. Coming our way. Oh, nope, changed their mind. Swinging over. Nope, changed their mind again. Coming our way. Sword of the Animist. In the middle, that is Mango piloting Ratadrabrik of Urborg. 4 mana for a 3/3 with Vigilance and Ward 2. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a copy of it, except it's not legendary and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other types. I actually saw this one a little bit over the weekend. There's some nasty stuff you can do with it. Juji tends to be really good. The person I was facing happened to be playing a Hokori, which is essentially Winter Orb, so that game ended kind of quickly, since no one could cast anything, and they would basically just like sack it, get it back with Juji with the copy. It was kind of ridiculous. There's some crazy stuff you can do with this, especially in the like aristocrat sense of sacrifice it and get another copy back is pretty ridiculous. So there's a Mangara for D-Manny. Esper Sentinel. Skull Clamp on the Mangara. Yep, makes sense. There's a Yoshimaru. It's a decent little pickup. Play the forest. Actually, let's activate Selvala first. We get a City of Brass. City of Brass might be more beneficial to us. We need to get colors going. Play the City of Brass. How much is Galta right now? Galta is 5. That's not too bad. So, I mean, we can tap out for Galta. Galta probably gets shot if we do that. So, I think I'm going to go Honor Warren Shaku. Triggers the Esper Sentinel. I'm not going to pay for that. Yeah, I want to leave up Boros Charm just in case. Because Avacyn's probably going to come down. If something dies, then could blow up a lot of our stuff, which I don't love. So we're not going to pay. Giving them cards, probably not the best idea. But probably about to give them another one with the Yoshimaru. Get the Yoshimaru. Yep, there's the Mangara draw. We'll pass like that. I don't think we really need to go anywhere yet. We could probably try to chip someone, but I think I'd rather just have the blocker up. Yeah, here comes the Archangel Avacyn at the end step. Man, that thing having flash is so good. I was playing a game over the weekend with my Angel deck, and this was in my hand, and someone played, what did they play? They played Archon of Emeria, which is essentially Rule of Law. And so I had a Quicksilver Amulet in play, which is very helpful for getting around Rule of Law type stuff. And also had Archangel Avacyn in hand, so I was able to get a lot done through a turn cycle, much more than my opponents in that sense, who were stuck to one spell a turn. So, yeah, Flash is pretty cool. Has a lot of other text on there too, which is also pretty interesting. Also, I have the double-sided playmat for this card, which was a complete pain in the butt to get, but is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. I think I actually like the art on the backside a little bit better. Give the stuff indestructible. Yep. They untap. Eldrazi Displacer seems good. Wonder if that eats the generous gift. Destroy enchantments. We fortunately don't have any enchantments. They can give their stuff repeated indestructible, though, and that's a pretty big deal. Everflowing Chalice kicked 3 times. That's pretty good. Nadar Selfless Paladin. Yeah, it's a cool card. Let's take a quick peek at our deck. For the most part, I went with a lot of fairly standard choices with this deck. Here's all the ramp right here. But here's some of the more interesting choices I made that I didn't necessarily see, at least in the most recommended cards anyway. So we got Odric Lunarch Marshal. We are a combat deck, and this gives us some amount of evasion, which I like. Same thing with the other Odric. Basically, it just gives us a way to attack past everything, because if we have a few creatures in play, they should all be giant with our commander. I put Deathrender, Hammer of Nazan, and Nazan in the deck just because I thought it was fun, not because it specifically has a ton of synergy with the commander, but when you're doing legendary stuff with a lot of creatures, I've been wanting to use Deathrender, so I just jammed it in here. We got Morag, we got Aurelia for some extra combats. Again, we are doing the combat thing. Raya Dawnbringer, because I love Raya Dawnbringer. Myojin of Cleansing Flame, because it's legendary, and I've always wanted to use it. And this might be a reasonable deck to do so, because we have all the green mana ramp, can actually afford to reasonably cast it. And then finally, Maelstrom Archangel. It's not a card that I get to run all too often, but it seems like it's reasonable for this deck. It's not legendary, and thank God, because it would be terrible as a commander, but at least until Jodah was printed anyway. I'm very happy we haven't had to deal with Maelstrom Archangel as a commander over the last like 10 or 12 years, because it definitely would have been a headache. But cool card nonetheless, and jammed it in here just because I felt like it. So the rest of the deck is going to be fairly standard synergy pieces. We got Shanded in here, which is a new one. Very cool. Anyway, let's get back to the game. There's a Sword of the Animist for D-Manny. D-Manny is piloting his Iroas deck, by the way. He meant to choose a different deck, but sometimes Magic Online is weird like that. And here he is playing Iroas, one that we've seen on the channel a few times. He does have some really cool interactions in the deck. Hopefully he doesn't beat us with them, but they will be interesting to see nonetheless. Going on the attack with the Dockside Extortionist. Where is he sending it? Our way, probably? I cut Sword of the Animist and Feast and Famine at the last second while building this deck. Very unusual. I wanted to put them in, but I'm like, I run them a lot. They're not like a necessity in this deck. You can get by without them, so. D-Manny's on 10 cards. Oh my god. Boros deck outdrawing everyone. Sends it into Delta Fiend, who blocks with the Archangel Avacyn. Should have put the Skull Clamp on there first. So I think one issue we're going to run into here is the fact that we're making a lot of green mana, and we really only need one green mana at this moment in time. Perhaps a reason to put some Signets in the deck. Filtering your mana colors is a pretty big deal. Dockside goes down. D-Manny's got to discard to hand size. There's a 3 visits, potentially helpful. Let's activate Selvala. There's a Relic of Legend. That gets us colored mana, which seems like a pretty big deal. I need to pick up some of these. This card seems really cool. So play the Forest. Play... that makes us 1 colored short of being able to go Commander, leave up Boros Charm. It's unfortunate. Unless we can go... Ooh, maybe we can go Teferi's Protection. I'd like to get our Commander in this turn since we've been kind of slow rolling stuff a little bit. Yeah, okay, I think that's what we do. Actually, I think we can do it this way. Get Relic of Legends. Pretty sure this is gonna work. Not paying. Then try our Commander. Yeah, there we go. And now we can use the Relic to tap these two to either cast Boros Charm or Teferi's Protection as needed. Excellent. Yoshimaru will get a +1/+1 counter on it. Also, our team gets huge, but we do need to leave that mana. Yep. Swords right away. I guess straight into the Teferi's Protection. This is the play we've been setting up for, so tap our creatures for mana. Tap this thing. And Teferi's Protection. Hope there's no additional interaction. Cool, we phased out. And so that's why we set it up that way. From the little bit that I saw of Jodah over the weekend, this is going to be an archenemy type commander. So that's why I didn't want to just blindly run it out there on turn 5 when we had 2 protection spells in hand. You know, if you have nothing else going on, sure. But given what we had, I thought it would make sense to wait, especially for something like that. And then the thing, too, is that, like, there's also the sense of, like, I make this video so that you guys can kind of see the commander, and what happens with commanders like this is that when they're so strong, people shoot them when they immediately come in, and then you really don't get a feel of what the deck kind of does, so slow rolling it right there made sense on a couple different avenues, so. Because, yeah, I don't want to get stuck without the commander actually ever being in play, and having to film a second video. However, when we untap, assuming there's no more interaction, I am very excited to cascade this Galta. Hopefully we hit something cool. There are some big things at the top, like the Myojin, like Ray of Dawnbringer. I guess the Myojin's not great if you cascade into it, but yeah, there's a few big uns. In the deck. There's a Gisela, Elishnorn, and all the fun stuff. Hopefully we don't hit like a 2 or 3 drop. At least a 4 drop would be nice. Didn't put any Scry in the deck. Maybe I should. Krav the Unredeemed, yeah, that's a magic card. I think there are a lot of different interesting things you can do with this commander. You know, I was kind of thinking about, like, what are some interesting legendaries that I can run? And, like, Krav and Regna are pretty interesting. That might be something worth looking at with Jodah. I was also thinking about doing, like, Myojin Tribal, which would be pretty funny. I was thinking about a few other things, too, but I kind of just wanted to do a standard build first, since I know that's what a lot of people are going to be interested in seeing. And that's always been sort of an interesting philosophical question for me. It's like, do I build the standard build of the deck, or do I build something more fun, unique, or janky with it? Mango attacking our way to send the message. Also, they get value and don't lose their blockers, so I guess it's more than just sending the message, just trying to not lose their creatures in combat. No blocks. Oh man, if we hit Maelstrom Wanderer with this thing, that could be ridiculous. D-Manny over there with 13 cards in hand. Yeah, he's done well with the card draw. How's he going to get all of them out of his hand, though? He's got Aurelia in the graveyard. He's got to be sitting on a big reanimation spell, because he gave up the Dockside pretty easily. Aurelia's in the graveyard now, and that's just, like, not a thing you do. Okay, yeah. There's Savior of Ollenbach, and if he gets Angel of Glory's Rise, things will get pretty wild, and it becomes very difficult to interact with his deck. There's a Fervor. Yeah, those are good. Equips the sword. Gonna attack our way again. Free attacks. Don't have to worry about losing their creature. Sword of the Animus trigger. Doesn't attack with both. They could have gotten a training trigger on there, which is kind of a big deal. Mango said, feel my wrath. Yeah, we had to burn at Teferi's Protection, which I was hoping to hang on to, right? Because, you know, Teferi's Protection around turn 8 probably wins you the game. At least it comes close a lot of the time. Having to use it on turn 6 when you're not quite there gives opponents a little more opportunity to interact. Based on what's at the table, the black deck is the one to be most concerned about just from like a removal standpoint. We don't have much for Toxic Deluge, although I guess our stuff's kind of big, so it just burns a lot of life. But even then, they can still blow up our stuff. Where the Boros decks, if they have Farewell, that's an issue. But for the most part, most of their removal should be prevented with Boros Charm. At least the first piece of removal, anyway. If they find more, then trouble. Yeah, there's a Sarah's Ascendant. Those are good. He also spends his treasure, which will allow him to tap out. I will not be taken advantage of. There's an Urza's Ruinous Blast. That's a magic card. What actually dies? We get rid of Displacer, which seems like it probably needs to happen. Dawnbreak. All their creatures survive. Gets rid of Mana Rocks, though. Fervor, Soul Ring, Esper. Yeah, it hits D-Manny the worst, is what it does. I think we try it. Start with the Urza's Ruinous. Oh my god. Oh, it costs 6. There's a Redain in play. Well, that'll be fun. Let's do it anyway. Actually, before we do that, let's tap this thing for mana. See what happens. Reflecting Pool. 1 green mana. Play the Reflecting Pool. Now do the thing. Urza's Ruinous Blast into the Esper Sentinel. Pretty nervous about this Eldrazi Displacer, so I really want to get rid of this. D-Manny stuff is sort of a victim of circumstance. Oh, that's a Tobolt's Trickery. All right, I guess it's not going to resolve, but at least we'll get something back out of it. I've had some Tobolt's Trickeries backfire terribly. It's a good card. It is not a great card, because sometimes, as good as it can be, it will also give opponents the game, or put them very far ahead. What do we get? We got an Asika. Oh, we can cast a Prismatic Bridge? Yeah, let's cast a Prismatic Bridge then. Oh, we gotta pay one? Gross. Guess we're paying one. Now we definitely need to leave up Boros Charm, because that'll probably eat a generous gift. Yoshimaru gets pumped up. Think we need our mana. We hit Dahada, another new one. Yeah, let's get a Dahada. Wow, it doesn't even care where you cast it from. That is pretty ridiculous. We'll use this thing. Let's take a read of Dahada. 4 mana, 5 loyalty Planeswalker can be your commander, as Yoshimaru gets pumped up. +2, up to 1 target legendary creature gains Vigilance, Lifelink, and Indestructible until your next turn. Let's probably go with our commander on that one. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put any number of legendary cards from among... Ooh, card advantage is nice too. And then the rest into your graveyard. Create a treasure token for each card, put it into your graveyard. And then what is that? Insurrection? For all non-land permanents? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Card advantage does sound nice. We are running a little bit thin here. Yeah, since we have the protection spell, let's do the card advantage mode. Reveal the top 4. Hope we get lucky. There's a Semhoot. Love it. 2 lands and a Heliod's Intervention. Heliod's Intervention is nice, but we're going to have to go with that. The treasures are helpful. Man, yeah, that actually worked out pretty well. Yeah, let's get this. We can wait. You know what? We can wait on Galta because we can get Semhoot next turn. So I think what I'm doing, I'm just going to get this 3 visits because right now we're exposed to a board wipe. Like, opponents are going to be trying to blow up our stuff. So, let's see. Let's get not a ton of black in the deck, it looks like. So, yeah, we'll just get a Taiga. Let's do some attacking. Is there Death Touch over here? No. Cool. 1 in a Mango. D-Manny can trade with our commander if he wants to. I mean, even Mango is pretty good attacks also. I don't think D-Manny's gonna trade all that stuff into. We'll send the Kethis into Delta because they might just Eldrazi Displacer it. Or probably like, oh no, you want what's gonna happen? They're gonna blink this thing. Yeah, let's try it this way. They're gonna blink this thing and shoot the Prismatic Bridge. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That I'll probably just let go. I like the Prismatic Bridge, but keeping the rest of our board alive is going to be more important, I think. We'll attack like that, leave our commander back. Yep, block with the thing, blink the thing, shoot Prismatic Bridge. Here it comes. Yep. Our Planeswalker is very exposed. Exiles Urza's Ruinous Blast, which is a good play. But they did just leave us with a Prismatic Bridge, so I probably would have gone for the Prismatic Bridge personally, since that's a more immediate threat than us getting that Urza's Ruinous Blast back. But in decks like this, like Mistveil Plains and Captain Sisay is a thing you got to watch out for with the Urza's Ruinous Blast. I've definitely done that in my Sisay Legendary Blades deck. Circuit Mender. I got to remember that card next time I build like an Artifact or ETB deck. Seems pretty good. Yeah, Archangel Avacyn into the Planeswalker. That's just such an easy attack. So can't do much about that. But hey, at least we got a quick look at it. Yeah, that -3. That -3 is pretty good. Even the +2. Tough call between the two of them because I do like the lifelink and indestructible, but since we were so low on cards, I think the +3 made more sense. Plus, it got us past a couple lands, which probably needed to happen. Drawing those lands would not have been the best. Give ourselves a chance for a little bit more gas now. Krov's going to sacrifice some stuff, yeah. Oh god, that seems good in that deck. Sacrifices the Redain, gets a token copy of Redain. Gets a token copy of Nadar, they'll venture again. It feels like Mango is very well set up to have a giant turn. Has a lot of mana. Has a sack out. Oh god. Well, there's an Archangel Avacyn. That is not the easiest thing for us to get through. We're going to need to find one of our evasion creatures. At least that should probably make them the threat. God, they hardcasted that and they still have a ton of mana left. That's how much mana ramp Mango has had this game. Triggers the Mangara. There's a Vona, Butcher of Magan. Oh boy. Mango is a problem. You guys know the old saying, kill Mango first. And if that doesn't happen here, then Mango's probably going to win this game. Like, if the three of us gang up and kill Mango, then we'll, we might be fine. But short of that happening, Mango's got a board state. D-Manny's got some legs in the sense that Iroas can kind of blindly attack. And, I mean, with the Indestructible, it's still tough, so he'll need more creatures to do it. Or to really, get damage done. Oh, Nadar's attacking us. Can we not block Nadar? Did I pass it? I think I passed it. Well, it's only 2 damage. We should be alright. It'd be funny if we found, True Conviction, just because the life race would be funny. They can get us for a bit in the air, but we can kind of swing back and gain a bunch of life back. It's not, the most effective answer to what's going on. Swords or Path would obviously be that, but... Oh, yeah, Delta sees the bridge play. And he said, I got time. It's not great. Savine's Reclamation, what are we getting? Oh, Dockside. Yep, here's that late game Dockside. That's probably what he's been sitting on all game. Skyclave Apparition does not handle Avacyn. Can handle something else potentially over here, though, which might be meaningful. Yeah, that's... What is he at, 15 treasures now? Give or take. Can probably cast most of the cards in his hand. How would I feel about a Farewell? Mixed. But we'd get to rebuild first. And we have haste, so that'd be cool, right? Savine's on Imperial Recruiter. Oh, God. Hope it's not a Karmic Guide combo or something. Karmic Guide for Aurelia plus Iroas. They have haste. That could get some things done to Mango. I'm confused about... Oh, they're still searching. They revealed the Nykthos at some point. That's a card. Also Vanquish. Vanquish not helpful against Avacyn, so probably not going to see that one until Avacyn goes down. Direfleet Daredevil can get a Swords, which he's gonna do, which deserves a nice play. Swords on the Avacyn, thank God. Oh, we can sacrifice it and get a copy. No. Oh, God, that commander's so strong. Oh, no. Elish Norn could, in theory, kill the copy. At least it kills you slower. It's a 3-3, I guess. Elish Norn would not kill a 3-3. But Nadar would die, which would remove +1/+1 from... I think they've completed a dungeon. So, not out of the woods yet. Oh, okay. So I started talking to opponents. I was telling them not to blow up the bridge unless they have a plan for Avacyn. He can blink the Avacyn token, which means that D-Manny can Wrath. Ooh. I don't know, I haven't done the math here, but Delta can also flicker Archangel Avacyn to give Indestructible, which means they'd probably come out reasonably ahead on a board wipe. Also means that we might be able to keep our Prismatic Bridge alive, and we could definitely use the value at this point. D-Manny says he'll deal with the bridge after. Oh man. They're all trying to get the bridge. So if we Boros Charm, we would need opponents to sequence things in a way that's favorable to us. I don't know if that'll happen. So they put the board wipe on the stack. Delta will flicker the Avacyn token, and they'll flicker their own Avacyn. Then that resolves, and then that still leaves the problem of the board wipes on the stack. D-Manny can respond with Generous Gift. We would need something to force D-Manny to fire off the Generous Gift early. D-Manny making sure before he starts this line of play. Here comes the Vanquish the Horde. I'm reluctantly pressing OK, in hopes that Delta is not going to mess up anything right here. Yeah, Displacer on the Avacyn token. Does Mango have... Oh, no, Mango's going to sack it to the Krav. That's fine. Displacer on their Avacyn. D-Manny needs to sack all of his mana. Wait, no he doesn't. D-Manny's going to Boros Charm himself. I mean, I guess we'll just fire ours off now as well. Like I said, I just don't think there's a way to keep our bridge, so Empty all the protection. We got a little bit of a stack going here. Although we might be all right as long as our commander sticks. You know, I'm actually going to pay the one to prevent the draw this time, finally. D-Manny has had a lot of cards all game. He's down to 62 cards in his library. He is looked at a lot. And with the dockside shenanigans, he's got a lot of mana too, which is a problem. You know, I wonder if all this kind of makes us the threat. Well, Delta's still got stuff in play. We still have stuff in play. Generous gift on the bridge, that's fine. I am worried about, like, I guess they don't have the Karmic Guide yet. With what he has in play currently, he has a medium-sized attack. None of his stuff's particularly huge. He could get Iroas, which adds 7 to the equation. I guess we're indestructible, so we can block Iroas or whatever the biggest thing is. We do get an indestructible Elephant. Avacyn flickers, making Delta's stuff indestructible. Mango is really the loser in that exchange. Mango lost all their creatures, but I guess they get some copies back. Okay. There's a copy of Vona, and Krav is back. Krav seems very good in that deck. Sack outlets in general. Does he have Regna? Does Mango have Regna? Doesn't look like they searched up Regna at any point. I mean, if you're running one, I'd probably run the other. You know, in a situation like this, then you just cast Regna, right? And it's just free value, basically. And those two together is just like, it's slow, but it's a hard thing to deal with if you're doing like a non-combo based thing. If you're doing some sort of like combat creature based deck, it can be pretty tricky to get through that. Here comes a Savior of Olenbach. I do wonder if he has to think about trying to get some of his own stuff back, though. Aurelia in the yard is definitely a thing that you want. Prefer it wasn't our commander. What did he target? Oh, Dockside, of course, right. Yep, the card he's definitely going to beat us with. I saw it early, and I'm like, yeah, we're just going to lose to that Dockside, is what's going to happen. You know what? So when this leaves play, when it leaves the battlefield, put the exile cards, yeah. So him getting that Dockside, we're better off taking 3 damage. We can't kill the No, it's all indestructible anyway. We can't block Mangara, though. So we'll do that. Oh, wait. Yeah, he's indestructible. We're indestructible. Yeah, we can just block all of it. It's not going anywhere. Board wipe off the top would actually be pretty legit, because now most of the protection should be, like, the board wipe would actually get stuff done. Most of us still have our boards intact. Showdown of the Scalds. Oh, that's fine. 4 cards. Blade Historian gets killed. Defiler of Faith, haven't seen this one yet. Vigilance. What is that? White Phyrexian mana, essentially. And whenever you cast a white spell, make a soldier. That's a Selfless Spirit, is not amazing. Yeah, I think D-Manny's a threat now. He has so much damage on board. Remorseful Cleric, Graveyard's offline. Yeah, I can go Iroas Blade Historian, and that's just a nightmare. We're going to exile our yard. We have a little bit of reanimation in the deck. You know, would have been nice to have it active, but True Conviction is a magic card. We go Galta first or Samut first? Hopefully we have enough to get all of them. Let's activate this thing. 1 is kind of... Ristic Study's fine. Probably a little late for it. We can cast Galta for the minimum. Hope we get lucky. Jodah Trigger, there's our first Cascade, I think. No, we did Cascade into the bridge. So our second Cascade. Odric is what you want to see. And opponents are just about tapped out. I think we might be able to kill D-Manny. Yoshimaru gets pumped up. We'll need to tap 1 creature so we can make mana. Oh, wait. Oh, we have cost reduction. Maybe not. We do need a lot of white mana, so we're going to want to tap in a way to leave our white mana up. Samut into Jodah. I put this True Conviction in at the last second, too. I'm like, you know what? Our stuff's going to be huge. We should probably have a True Conviction. There's Shannon. That's Menace. Yeah. Other legendary creatures you control have Menace, has Menace itself, and whenever you play a legendary land or spell, draw a card and lose a life. Yoshimaru gets pumped up. Oh, it's a 1919. It's so big. Oh, he's got 1 treasure left. Could be a swords or something. We'll have to send multiple things his way. True Conviction. Yeah, get the True Conviction. True Conviction, bring us home. Pray they don't draw swords with it. Go to combat. Hopefully no swords on the Samut. That would be terrible. Yeah, I don't think Mango really has interactions, so I think we can kill Mango with these 2. And then we'll send this one to D-Manny, that one to D-Manny, that one to D-Manny, this one to Delta, this one to D-Manny, and this one to Delta. I think that's table lethal. Send the attack. Mangara triggers, giving him every opportunity to find a swords. Yeah, we'll just declare no blockers. D-Manny goes down. Oh my god. Oh, wow. All 3 players go down, and we're at 171. Wow. Yeah, Mango had stuff. Got Eternal Oketra, Altar, Warlock class, Villas. Yeah, those are cards. Those are cards. Yeah, so that's what Jodah does. That was turn 8. and there was a pretty good amount of removal. We were able to dodge a lot of it because of 2 protection spells in Teferi's Protection and Boros Charm. We really only lost the Prismatic Bridge, which, you know, is still a bit of a loss. Where is the bridge at? There it is. Which is still a bit of a loss, but yeah, Jodah just does so much when it's in play. It's just going to be one of those type of decks. If someone's got protection spells in their Jodah deck, like, you're probably in trouble, right? That's kind of what we saw here, is that, you know, opponents played removal and tried to stop what we were doing, and we were able to protect against it, and then we killed the board in one fell swoop from, like, pretty healthy life totals. Like, no one really had a lot of damage on them up to that point. So right now, the way that I'm thinking about Jodah the Unifier is sort of the same way I thought about the Dragons deck when that came out in C17, which is you're both playing creatures, but the dragons are just better than all your creatures because they're flying and they're big and they do a lot of damage and probably blow up half your board and stuff like that. So you're both on a similar strategy. Theirs is just better. I think the same thing is kind of true with Jodah. If Jodah is in play, your stuff is giant, and whenever you cast things, you get more things. If you're playing a creature deck, it's kind of just better than what you're doing. So now I will say the deck will falter if you get Jodah out of play. Then their stuff becomes normal size, and you can attack and do whatever you need to do, that kind of stuff. And from what I've seen, Jodah is reasonably susceptible to a board wipe. Like, the Cascade is good, but it's not straight card draw in the sense that, like, commanders that draw a lot of cards, you play the board wipe and they still have 6 cards in hand, they just rebuild and it's no big deal. Where with Jodah, everything's kind of in play, so if you can blow it up, they may not have a ton of cards in hand, and, you know, so it sort of just depends, right? Like, if they have a lot of mana and they have Jodah and they have one thing that they can cascade from their hand, then, and they get lucky, sure, maybe they rebuild kind of quickly, but from what I've seen, it's a little bit softer to a board wipe than straight card draw in the command zone. But who knows, maybe my thoughts on that'll change, but otherwise, yeah, it's just a strong commander. It does a lot. So, but we did see some cool stuff out of our opponents this game too, and, you know, given one more turn, I think, like, Mango probably wasn't that far away. D-Manny was definitely going to have a turn if he untapped. The Avacyn deck, yeah, Avacyn deck is known for being a little bit slower. The one thing that Avacyn deck needed, I don't know if it's in there or not, they probably needed to get Illuminate Primordial down, and if they got that into play and started blinking that, then they can slow the game down to their own pace, and that would have been huge for them. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel, vote on which decks I play next, or if you want to get some really good games of Spell Table, be sure to check out my Patreon at the link below.